afternoon. On behalf of our chairperson, Ms. Ritu Shah, I, Prachi Trivedi Shah, Honorary Secretary, Flow Hyderabad Chapter, would like to welcome you all to an enlightening session on Are You Really Healthy with Ms. Amrita Kaur Rana. Could I request everyone to kindly put your phones on silent and rise for the national anthem.
Janagana mana adhinayaka jaya he Bharat bhagya vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
It is an honor to request the floor chairperson, Ms. Ritu Shah, our guest today, Ms. Amrita Kaur Rana, along with our wife floor chairperson, Ms. Aarti Shah, to come forward for lighting of the lamp. It gives me immense pleasure to now invite Ms. Gunjan Sindhi, EC Head of Membership Team, to brief us about the Flow app.
Thank you, Prachi. Namaste. Our esteemed guests, eminent past chair, and distinguished members, thank you all for joining us as we embark on this exciting journey today. As we set sail on the uncharted waters of technological innovation, may this new app be the wind that propels us towards growth and new horizons. It is my absolute pleasure to stand before you to launch our groundbreaking app, which has been meticulously crafted with passion and innovation. Today, we are not just introducing an app, but a labor of love that reflects the dedication of our talented team with every line of code, every pixel placed, and we've kept in mind the belief that we are creating something exceptional. Our app strives to simplify your lives, empower your productivity, and ignite your creativity. It is a testament to our commitment to make a positive impact on the world. Together, let us embrace the future with open arms, embracing the opportunities that this app brings into our lives. Let's celebrate the launch as a milestone, but also a stepping stone towards even greater achievements. Thank you once again for being a part of this momentous occasion. Without further ado, I request Chairperson Ritu Shah to come and launch the app. Let us officially launch this app and embark on this incredible journey together. Thank you. And please do download the app.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today is a significant milestone for Flow Hyderabad as we embark on a transformative journey towards embracing technology. After a year's work behind the scenes, today, with great enthusiasm, we unveil the Flow Hyderabad chapter app, a game changer in how we interact and bond with our valued members. This innovative app is meticulously crafted to optimize communication, encourage collaboration, and offer seamless access to a diverse array of resources and prospects. I extend hearty congratulations to our immediate past chairperson, Shubhra Maheshwari, for starting us off on this path. More appreciation to our mentors, Monica Agarwal, Ajita Yogesh, and Uma Chikrupati for their constant support. Lalita Judge, thank you for being so rock solid. Sujita, Gunjan, Hitesh, and Lavanya, and each and everyone involved in the inception of the idea. A huge round of applause to the team at Softpal Technologies for working closely with our team to understand our requirement and for designing the app. We hope all of you were able to download the app from App Store or Google Play Store. The Softpal team is here with us today and they would help us with any queries or difficulties you may face. So please feel free to reach out to them. Thank you so much. I now call upon Lalita George Aunty, please.
Good evening, everyone. This was some journey, and I, Lalita George, I'm glad we have arrived. I would like to extend our gratitude to everyone for joining us today to celebrate the launch of the Flow Hyderabad chapter app. Countless hours of hard work have been put in to create this app, and we hope you will all use it to be connected and informed about Flow Hyderabad chapter. Our sincere thanks to the Softpal team for joining us on this exciting journey and helping us reach so far. We would like to thank past chairs Ajita Yogesh and Monica Agarwal, immediate past chairs Shubhra Maheshwari, Chairperson Ritu Shah for their guidance and support, not forgetting my fellow committee members Sujita Chitiala and Gunjan Sindhi, Lavanya and Hitesh for their unconditional support and hard work. Thank you everyone for your valuable time for making this app a success. Dear members, we hope you will enjoy using the map as much as we have enjoyed making it. Kindly use the facility which is at the entrance to download the app. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Lalita ji. Sheryl Sandberg had said, "We need women at all levels, including the top, to change the dynamic, reshape conversations, and to make sure that women's voice is being heard and heeded, not ignored and overlooked." We at Flow Hyderabad chapter believe in the importance of sustaining her ability. Together, we aim to inspire and nurture entrepreneurial and professional spirit through networking, education, and training, making women more employable and absorbable in the market. Let us take a moment to look back at the months gone by and the impact that we have created together. Could I have the video, please? Said Charka, one of the principal contributors to Ayurveda, had said, "Life is the combination of body, senses, mind, and reincarnating the soul." Ayurveda is the most sacred science of life, beneficial to humans both in this world and the world beyond. Our session today, Are You Really Healthy?, takes us on a journey of the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda with Ms. Amrita Kaur Rana. I now invite Ms. Sita Reddy, EC Head of the Health Initiative, to kindly introduce our guest.
Good evening, everyone. Ayurveda nutrition is what we all grew up having from our own grandma's kitchen. Sadly, our lifestyles have changed so much that we are forgetting our own world's healthy kitchen. Hopefully, today's session and expert advice will take us back to our roots. Let me introduce our speaker today. Journalist, radio jockey, blogger, content creator, teacher, Ms. Amrita Kaur Rana has donned various hats in her career spanning over 18 years. Her life in the last decade has revolved around food, exploring new ingredients and cuisines. She started her food journey with Life Ki Recipe, a blog which chronicled her adventures with food. From writing about food to recipe creation and food styling to hosting cooking workshops, Amrita has dwelled into various aspects of food. And now, as a certified Ayurveda nutrition consultant, she uses all her skills to create meaningful content and educate people about the principles of Ayurveda and how to include them in modern lifestyles. She currently creates food and wellness content, hosts seasonal pop-ups from her home kitchen, and conducts online cooking workshops and promotes a healthy lifestyle that's one with nature. Thank you.
Thank you, Sita ji. It is with immense pleasure that I now invite our chairperson, Ms. Ritu Shah, and our guest, Ms. Amrita Kaur Rana, on the dais. Ms. Ritu Shah to felicitate our guest, please. I now invite our chairperson, Ms. Ritu Shah, to address the gathering.
Dear wellness warriors, champions of well-being and mindful eaters, a very good evening to one and all. In the wise words of Buddha, to keep the body in good health is our duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. We are gathered here today to explore an essential aspect of our lives that directly impacts our well-being, our health habits. Every day, we make choices that dictate our health, and quite often, these decisions are made unconsciously, influenced by our fast-paced lives and a myriad of external factors. It's essential to recognize that our health isn't one size fits all. We all are wonderfully unique, and this individuality extends to our body types, dietary requirements, and health needs. Ancient wisdom, such as Ayurvedic concept of doshas, remind us of the importance of understanding our unique body constitution to make mindful health decisions. The path to optimal health isn't a standardized route, but a personalized journey. It's an honor to introduce to you a remarkable personality whose journey weaves a vibrant tapestry of food, health, and culture, Amrita Kaur. Amrita is not just a food blogger, but a culinary alchemist who transforms humble ingredients into recipes that not only tantalize the palate but also nourish the body and soul. She has seamlessly merged the wisdom of Ayurveda into her food narratives, awakening us to the profound relationship between food, health, and well being. Before we embark on this path towards wellness and nutrition, I would like to make a few announcements. Can I have the Style Tattva committee, please, near the stage? The core committee, please. We are elated to share that a third edition of Style Tattva, held on 22nd and 23rd of July, was a resounding success with an estimated footfall of over 10,000 visitors. The exhibition was inaugurated by the Honorable Mayor of Hyderabad, Srimati Gadwal Vijayalakshmi, Flow National President, Srimati Sudha Shivkumar, Additional DGP Women and Safety, Srimati Shikha Goel, and past chairpersons of Flow and Y-Flow Hyderabad. The two-day shopping extravaganza featured 214 stalls, including fashion, weaves, jewelry, home decor, health and wellness, a startup pavilion featuring women-led startup, an initiative pavilion showcasing a working loom and highlighting Telia Rumal and Cheryl paintings, and the Sumtums Food Court. The loom provided a unique and immersive experience for visitors to appreciate the artistry and craftsmanship involved in the weaving techniques of Telangana. We also had a special stall for G20 Empower, which is a digital inclusion platform for women to upskill and accelerate their career growth. We featured a stall from SERP, the Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty. The crowning glory of this year's Style Tattva has been sustainability. From adopting eco-friendly practices and green initiatives, responsible sourcing of decor and merchandise, to sustainable branding and marketing through usage of cloth backdrops to waste management. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our Style Tattva mentors, Ms. Manjula Reddy and Ms. Rekha Lahoti, for guiding us through this journey, and our ever-supportive past chair council for encouraging us always. And with a huge round of applause, I would like to invite onto the stage the Style Tattva committee. Thank you, convener Aparna Reddy. Co-convene on the stage, please. Co-convener Radhika Bansal and Ritu Agarwal. Core team members Shweta Tiwari, Shweta Agarwal, Nidhi Agarwal, Mrinalini Shastri, Komal Bagga, Sujita Chityala, Nishita Manne, Shilpa Raju, Neeru Mohan, Arshya and Vandana Shetty. They have worked night and day for the past 4 months to make this Style Tattva such a spectacular show. A huge round of applause to all. Even the rain gods need a huge round of applause, friends. They played a huge role in the success of Style Tattva. Immense gratitude always. We recently announced a series of full-day business workshops for women entrepreneurs in the green economy in collaboration with the US Council General Hyderabad and ACIR. We are glad to report that 27 of our members had participated in this program. This cohort is still going on at Lemon Tree, and 7 of our members have got selected and are attending the cohort. We have many such programs in the pipeline, and we urge each and every one of you to come forward and take advantage of such opportunities. Our Sustain Her Health initiative is going full steam ahead. We have supported and facilitated the installation of 39 vending machines, 8 incinerators, and distributed 23,820 sanitary napkins to various government schools and private schools and offices in the past 4 months, impacting 7,000 plus women and children. Our members have been championing this cause with great enthusiasm, and we look forward to more members coming forward and associating with this incredible initiative. And now getting back to our session. In the hyper-globalized world we live in, the allure of convenience often sways us away from the wisdom of our ancestors. At Flow Hyderabad, we stand committed to the holistic well-being of women who recognize the profound significance of this approach. We understand that health isn't merely the absence of illness. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Amrita's work aligns perfectly with our objectives, shedding light on the importance of mindful eating and making conscious choices that reverberate positively through every aspect of our lives. As we welcome Amrita today, let us open our minds to her insights, stirring us towards healthier and more mindful living. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ritu. It is a privilege to invite Ms. Amrita Kaur Rana to address the gathering and our chairperson, Ms. Ritusha, to take the session forward.
All right, so first question I want to just ask everybody. Do you guys follow Ayurveda by any chance? Who all here follow Ayurveda? Just raise your hand. Okay, who all not raising hands? Do you guys put tadka on your dals? You drink haldi doodh? You're following Ayurveda, don't worry about it. The best part is that Ayurveda is so beautifully woven in our Indian cuisine while growing up that we didn't even know that we were following Ayurveda so well. But sometimes, in fact, what has happened is because so much of now newer age options and newer cuisines have come, so many options, now we're just confused, and there's a lot of Chinese whisper has also happened. So, question, should we drink water before the meal? Or should we have water with the meal, or should we have water after the meal? Okay, after the meal, yes or no? For how long? Oh wow, you guys, I think my job is done. You all already know everything about Ayurveda. This is amazing. So these are such simple things. And we already, if we heard our grandparents well, then we already were following Ayurveda really well. Because so simple, their things were just about focusing on what is fresh, what is local, what is seasonal. So right now, which fruit are in season? Mangoes are almost gone, right? Like in Hyderabad, mangoes are gone. Yeah, so what is in season? Orange has come. What else? Dragon fruit is like late, newer phenomena in India. Guava has just come, yes. Custard apple is going to start coming, yes. What else? Jamun are still rare, right? All the stone fruits. So plums, cherries, all of these stone fruits, right? So cool. Papaya, absolutely. Beautiful. So I'm just so glad that you all are on the same page. Everybody's on the same page. So what we'll do is we'll try to understand first what is health. So then we can ask this question that are you really healthy? So what does health mean? Can anybody tell me what does health mean? If you say like, okay, are you healthy? Do you all think we are healthy? So what does health mean? That we are at ease, when we are sleeping well, we are waking up refreshed, energetic, we're looking forward to the day, and we have enough energy to go through all the things that we have to do, taking care of our work, our family responsibilities, all of that. And then still, also our skin should glow, of course, and our hair should look absolutely on point. That's also part of the health, right? You can actually, because skin is a mirror of what's happening inside. So the moment we see, okay, and I wake up and there is this one acne. Yesterday I woke up and I had this one breakout. I'm like, what did I eat yesterday? Oh, and then I realized maybe there was something spicy that I eat, but then I hadn't eaten anything spicy. And then anything which can cause heat in the body will give me a breakout. But I hadn't eaten anything spicy. Then that's when Ayurveda knowledge comes in, and it makes you understand that it's not only what you eat, it's not only what you drink or how much at what time, but also the emotions you're experiencing. So I was angry at somebody and I couldn't tell them. So now that anger that did not get expressed came out on the skin. Now imagine if we might be putting amazing, we might have like this whole 7 steps skincare ritual with like, you know, cleansing, toning, all of that. We might be doing all of that. But let's say if there are certain emotions we have not processed, then that might be appearing on the skin. So for really good, like a healthy glow, we just need to be real with our emotions. So let's get right now real with our emotions. How are we feeling, everybody? How are we feeling? Are we sleepy? Are we like charged? How are we feeling? Yeah? Should we charge a little bit more? Okay. So there's this beautiful quotation which says, mind benefits with stillness, but the body benefits from movement. Yes, wow. So we'll try both actually. So let's start with the mind first. So everybody, I would like you to close your eyes, okay? We want to see, mind to still hota hi nahi na, now it's thinking what to do next, we have to post pictures about this, we have to make sure the event is going great, and then we have to do like next thing, like tonight dinner's plan, all of that. So everybody close your eyes. Keep your phone aside for a moment. We just want to bring a little bit, just fraction of stillness and just taste this. Because हमें ऐसे हिमालय पे जाके जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, वो stillness experience करने के लिए. We'll just see how we can experience that. So at this moment, close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, one hand on your heart, and see how does it feel. Take your hand away from your heart and bring it back and see how you feel when you're supporting yourself. And at this moment, bring your awareness to your breath. कोई मुझे सुबह बता रहा था इतना काम चल रहा है कि मतलब सांस लेने की फुर्सत नहीं है, तो हमें तो सांस लेनी भी नहीं पड़ती है, वो तो ऑटोमेटिक ऑटो पायलट पे चल रही है. But at this moment, if we can pay attention to the breath that is going in and that's going out. So let's take a deep breath, deep long breath, and long and slow exhale. अच्छा, when I'm saying deep breath, ऐसे breath नहीं लेना हमको, ये तो forced हो गया, just गहराई तक जाना है, deep, okay? So one more time, deep breath and exhale. Now the second time we'll take a breath, we'll exhale with our mouth like we're blowing out a candle, okay? But as slow as possible. So take one more time, deep breath and exhale, blow out the candle. And as you're exhaling, I want you to exhale out every little thought, every little worry, every little thing that's going on in your head. Empty yourself right now. One more deep breath. And exhale, long and slow. Open your eyes. Notice the difference. Are you feeling a bit of centeredness, a bit of calm, a bit in the present moment? How does this happen? Because mind likes to go into the past or into the future. But the breath can only happen in the now. It can only happen in the now. And if we start bringing awareness to this, this is what will bring out true health for us. And let's see the movement. We understood how mind can benefit from stillness. Let's see the movement. So can we start twisting our, yeah, beautiful. And can we move our elbows as well? And our shoulders. Yeah, big rounds. And the other side. And can you stand up for a second? And twist yourself. Yeah, just twist yourself. Lovely. And just jog wherever you are. Just jog. And now like a heroine, take a nice angdai, okay? Like a Bollywood heroine, okay? Just one angdai. Yeah. Beautiful. And see how you're feeling? Right? A little movement. What this does, spending more little energy creates more energy. And this is the secret that we have always here. We just need to sometimes bring our mind to stillness, and sometimes we need to move ourselves. So whenever you feel, अरे यहाँ पे ध्यान नहीं लग रहा है या इस चीज़ में focus नहीं लग रहा है, just move yourself a bit, and then you will see. या बहुत जगह mind जा रहा है, तो bring the stillness to the breath, and that will continue to bring us good health in the moment. So what is health for us? This feeling of being at ease, this feeling of mind being still, body being energized, and we are energetic human beings at the end of the day. We are not here for like just sitting and chilling. We should experience life, and life is to the Ayurveda. Actually, very interesting. What is Ayurveda? Does anyone know what does Ayurveda means? What does Ayur mean? Ayur word? Age, the long life, basically, the longevity. And Ved is the wisdom. So this wisdom, this science is about how to achieve long, healthy life. So I want to know, because when I was speaking to Ritu and Archana, I realized, oh my God, they have 2 years age difference, and I did not know that, how, I don't want to tell your age, but I was like, कौन सी चक्की का आटा खाते हो आप लोग? मतलब पता ही नहीं चल रहा है, because age sometimes cannot reflect, some people you look at and we can't find how old they are really, right? So age technically is literally a number, right? Because how you feel, how alive do you feel? So I want to know, how old do you really feel at this age? How old do you feel? Are you feeling in your, what is that number? Think about it. How old do you feel right now? Or young? Let me say how young you're feeling. 20? Did I hear 20? 18? Oh, what else? Huh? 16? Did somebody say 16? Who's feeling 16 here? Nice, nice. High five to all the 16s. Beautiful. That's amazing. We should always be feeling alive like that. But how can we still have that long life, that we should still have the wisdom of our age, but the energy of the youth, right? So we'll get to that point. Okay. Is this, okay. So I just want to cover a few things. I have a little time with you guys. I want to cover as much as possible. So we're going to talk about a little bit of food habits as per Ayurveda. We'll also talk about the Agni, the digestive fire. We'll talk about a little bit about menstrual health and about a hormonal health, simple self-care practices, lifestyle habits like skin care, sleep, mental health, and some affirmations. So we all are that Wonder Woman. Sometimes we wonder, where is what is kept, right? I wonder where I left my keys, where I left my purse, where my money went. So, but let's talk about Panch Mahabhutas. You know that we all are actually same people, like the universe, everybody's made with this same 5 elements. All of us. Space, air, fire, water, earth. All of us. But then how am I different? How do I not sleep properly? Or how somebody, his skin is looking different? How somebody likes spicy food or somebody doesn't like? Why we are different than that? Because this quantity and quality of these elements is different in us. I have a lot of space and air, which is why I can talk very fast. And which is why when my space and air element comes together, that makes up for these, you know, all the elements that come together, they makes up for this dosha, the bioenergies. And why do they call dosh? दोष का मतलब क्या होता है हिंदी में? You know, fault. Yeah, fault. Like, so निर्दोष कहते हैं ना, जिसका वो दोष नहीं है. So why are they called faults? Because these energies are so subtle, they can get disturbed easily by what you're eating, by what you're consuming, by the weather outside, by the emotions. So let's understand this so that it will also give us clarity of why we are different. So space and air, when it comes together, makes up for Vata. And when fire and water comes together, it makes up for Pitta dosha, which is metabolism, helping us with our Agni. And when earth and water comes together, it makes up for Kapha dosha, giving us entire structure, the body, the cells, bones, tissues, everything. Now, there are 3 different body types they've also decided. So I want to understand with you guys which dosha is your significant. So while on internet you'll always see what's my dosha quiz, but actually it's what's my prakriti. Because you're born with that nature, your prakriti. And how do we identify? So when I first time learned 7 years ago, when I went for this Ayurveda course, and I got to know, oh, you can look at a person and can actually tell what dosha they are, what is their main dosha. And so I started people watching. Every time I go to cafes and I'm like, pitta skin, talks like a vata, okay. So I started realizing, so because there are 3 ways you can find out what's your dosha. One is darshana, when you look at a person. Second is prashna, when you ask more questions. Sometimes I can't tell things by looking at them. And third is sparshana, nadi parikshan, which an Ayurvedic doctor or Vaidya do. And when they do, they can tell you, hey, this is your prakriti, this is what you were actually born with, but this right now is your vikriti, a problem area, which we need to balance by the lifestyle, which is possible. So let's look at Vata. Let's look at actually do a quick fun quiz, okay? Let's identify what our main dosha is, okay? So number 1 question, so what you have to do is A, B or C. You have to just figure that out, okay? So most A's will be Vata type, most B's will be Pitta, most C will be Kapha. Let's do this. So first question, is your body light? Do you not gain weight easily? B, you're moderate. There's not too much of difference happens in the weight. Third, difficult to lose weight, and so metabolism is slightly slower. Everybody decided A, B and C? Okay, note your answers, okay? Second question, how's your sleep? Do you A, very light sleep, very few hours, very keep disturbing, sometimes coming, sometimes not happening. B, you like your sleep, in fact if you don't have sleep like proper, then you'll be little, grumpy as well. But 3, you love sleeping. Anytime, anywhere, afternoon, जहाँ सुला दो बड़े अच्छे से नींद आ जाती है भाई. घोड़े बेच के हम सो सकते हैं अच्छे से. So what is A, B and C? How many A, B? A? Okay, B? काफी सारे B हैं. And C? Oh wow, nice. B and C are common. That's amazing. Okay. Third question. How is, sorry, a personal question, okay? But how is your digestion? Okay, like you first, like sometimes it's like sometimes you go in the morning, sometimes you go in the evening. The poop happens whenever, whatever time it wants to come. Sometimes it doesn't come. Like first time it's irregular. B, too regular. Like it has to happen morning, sometimes evening also. Maybe something we eat and immediately have to go to the loo. B, huh? C, metabolism is a little slow, so it gets a little difficult, but the poop is okay. It's normal. It's like normal caramel color, properly well formed poop. That's how it should be. The poop should not be looking like green and red, and like it shouldn't be like loose. It shouldn't be sticking to the pot also. It's very important to watch your poop every day. I know I used to be like, what are these topics? Why people talk like that? Why are they discussing my poop? You know, when I went to that Panch Karma, and then they are asking me how. So because after they gave you 7 days of medicated ghee, last day they give you medicine and you have to sit in the loo. And they ask me, how many times did you go to the loo? And I'm like, I don't want to tell you. This is personal. That's 17 times that I went. but okay, so yeah, how's your poop? A, it was irregular, anytime, whenever. B, sensitive stomach. Anytime it can react to also anything, especially when you have coffee or a tea or something, immediately then have to go to loo. And 3, metabolism is a little sluggish. C? So most people are B here or A? Okay, B. Okay. और also ये सब habits हमारी eating habits से भी करता है. मतलब हम बहुत spicy खाना खाएंगे तो उससे भी हमें ज़्यादा जाना पड़ेगा. That's okay. ठीक है. But ideally 2 to 3 times maximum is decent. If we are going to the loo more than that, then we may need to check our gut health. Then we may need to check. But 2 to 3 times for pitta people is absolutely fine and it's healthy because their metabolism is made such way. Because sometimes these are the things people don't talk about. These are the things only family people know, na? So also one very important thing at this point of I'll tell you, the poop should also never be smelly. Like anybody who's using the loo after that should not feel awkward at all, basically, right? So these are the things that our body tells us whether it's healthy or not. So it's very important to have that sign. Okay, so we are still counting our A, B's and C's. Next question. Okay, if it's a weekend, A, you prefer doing many things, like also meet this friend and this person and go here and do this and multiple things, maybe also do little club hopping or something. B, you know, you have a certain plan, you'll stick to that, you have a proper roadmap, everything should happen as per plan, and we'll just stick to that. C, let's just have house party, let's sit, maybe just slow down and just have a little tea party and just, we don't need to go anywhere. What, A, B and C, anybody? C? Wow. I think वैसे मैं भी C हो गई हूँ अभी तक. पहले तो I was complete A, but now I feel like, you know, let's just sit at home. I think it's also like that beautiful age that we arrive at. I think after 30s something changes us in women anyway. It's just beautiful. So, but slowing down in life is the best thing, by the way, that can happen to us. Okay, next question, last question. How's our money spending habits? A, YOLO. So let's just spend because, you know, YOLO. And B, if we have decided this much money and we have to do this, we stick to that. And C, what's the point of spending all this thing? Let's save, let's do this, let's keep it. A, anybody? YOLO? Okay, chalo, thank God. High five with me. Okay, B? Oh, wow. Kafi structured, very nice. And C? Very handful, nice. Lovely. So now, most A's. Who all selected most A's? So I also would want you to observe, because Vata people, when you look at, usually thin body type. Usually hair will be also thin and brittle, easy to break. Sometimes also prone to split ends. Why? Because of the dryness. Also skin is dry, sometimes also rough. We need extra moisturizer. We need extra cream. We need 2 times routine, which we don't do because Vata people are irregular at everything. If you tell them, no, they don't sleep at the same time, they don't eat at the same time, they don't have similar appetite each day, they have 100 interest area, they talk fast, they walk fast, they have so much more energy, and they are for sure artists, creative, very, very creative. So who all are relating to Vata here? Okay, nice, very nice. And so Vata people also, you might be noticing, sleep is little like coming, going, whatever. It's a little fleeting concept only for us. And psychologically speaking, we also are prone to more of anxious thought. Anxiety is very common with Vata people, right? So this is about Vata. One thing we should know that we feel cold very easily. Who all are feeling cold here? Like this already, you want a little layer? That's the reason I wore my blazer. I was like, I am very Vata. I need to dress up in a way that also looks stylish. Also Vata gets covered, you know. So, but you understand Vata people, now you're clear? So you can identify as that. Achha, you might notice that you might be combination also. Because I'm also Vata Pitta, okay. Now Pitta people, you'll always see them, their skin na, is always this glowing, okay. Like you look at Kareena Kapoor's, you know, like without makeup and you look at her, like it's reddish tone. So Pitta people will always have this little reddish tone to them. They'll also have a nice, beautiful eyes, very good luster to the skin. And they are my favorite people because they stick to whatever they, you know, they're great leaders, great teachers. They have so much of focus. They are just like amazing, but they have a little temperament issue. Like you tell them, like you have to just like, I'm just going to say something and go, you know, because Pitta people, there's so much of heat in the body, the fire, and if they don't cool it down, if they don't keep a chill pill, then all that heat starts rising. And they, you know, because their metabolism, because of the fire, they get hungry so easily. Every 2 hours they're hungry. And if they don't get their food, then this heat starts rising, gets to the head and they become hangry. Hangry is word made for Pitta people, you know. So they have to take care of their, you know, that proper snacks and everything. And they certainly need to chill. They need to cool down for sure. And they, you know, these are the people you hold your hands with because they're always warm hands. They're always very warm, right? But remember, great focus, great vision. They are visionaries. They are the leaders. They are the ones who can do many things and impactful work in this world. So please, any Pitta people here, let's give them high five, like a round of applause. Yeah. Okay. Kapha people, favorite again. Completely opposite to Vata. Vata talks fast, walks fast, does everything. Kapha's like, हाँ बोलो, क्या करना है? And Vata's like, थोड़ा धीरे बोलो. And it's like, थोड़ा तुम तेज बोलो. You know, complete opposite. And Vata, while they have dry skin, Kapha will always have a little oily skin. And very smooth, like their cheeks, you just want to go them and just do this. These cheeks are amazing. And Kapha people will also have very thick hair, very nice, sometimes even wavy. And if you look at overall, in fact, this is also, I think, South Indian hair, if you have noticed, they're very Kapha hair. Because why? Because the diet has a lot of fats, the coconut, the rice, all of that really helps with good hair as well. Right? So Kapha is that. Now, another thing about Kapha is while they're completely opposite to Vata, but there's only one common thing between them, which is they also feel cold very easily. So that's the only common thing. Everything else is opposite. So, and psychologically, when I said Vata is prone to anxiety, Kapha might be prone to like lethargy and not feeling the motivation or even towards depression. And Pitta, nervous breakdown, anger, that is something that we need to take care of. Now, when you took the quiz, are you identifying with which one? Which one are you identifying with? Pitta mostly? Vata Pitta, Pitta Kapha, Pitta, so Pitta Vata now. Huh? So you are able to understand your body better. Now it's a good thing that we've understood our body, because the moment we understand that what dosha is more in us, it helps us balance it better. So then I know that if I'm Pitta, I should not be eating so much spicy food, because then it will become the acne or the breakouts or acidity or the allergies, rashes, or just a little irritable temperament. So you can then start balancing it. And how do we balance it? Opposite quality foods. So Pitta is all hot, we need to give it cooling things. So what are the cooling things? Cucumber, what else? Coconut, what else? Curd is not cooling. Curd is not cooling. Buttermilk is cooling, yes. Why curd is not cooling? Curd is fermented product, na? So it still has a bacteria going on, right? Melons are cooling, yes. What else? Jeera. Jeera is slightly warming actually, but soft is cooling. What else? Buttermilk is cooling. Coriander is super cooling. Mint is super cooling. Mulethi is cooling. Ash gourd is cooling. Beautiful. And if now we know the Vata and Kapha are very cold, they feel cold, so they need warm foods. So what are the warm foods example? Jeera, now we just discussed. What else? Ajwain. What else? Ginger, black peppers, chilies. Which one? Kashmiri Kawa. No, saffron actually is cooling. Saffron is cooling for us. Because almonds keeps us nourishing and warm, yes. But saffron otherwise is cooling for us. So it also balances us sometimes, yes. Cinnamon is very warming. What else? Dry fruits are all warming in nature, except which dry fruit is not heaty in nature? Coconut, because also considered as nut. And almonds, when it is soaked in the morning when you peel them off, they only eat the white, then it is not heaty. Then it becomes slightly cooling for body, and removing the peel is very important. Why? Because it helps us in nutrients absorption then. That phytic acid layer gets out, right? So now you understood the basic concept Vata Pitta Kapha. So I move to the next part, okay? Agni. ये तो सब में common है. Actually Vata Pitta Kapha, we have all three doshas. Abhi if we have identified, okay, I don't want to do anything with the Kapha because I am Vata Pitta. But remember, we have all three doshas. We need to balance all three. We just have, let's say, 10 of Vata, maybe 9 of Pitta, maybe 7 of Kapha. That could be possible, but we have all three doshas. They all are important for us. Vata is responsible for all the movements happening in our body, and movements like circulation, respiration, menstruation, blood circulation, all of these things. So we need them. Pitta is doing metabolism, Kapha is giving us the structure. So we need all three, but we need to balance, we need to now bring entire shift to our Agni, digestion, because we are not what we eat. We are what we can digest, right? We are what we can digest. And you know, in Ayurveda they say we are also nature, we are following the sun. And inside us also there is a sun. And what is that sun? Is that digestive fire. And this is like one Jathar Agni, it's called Jathar Agni, because it's a belly fire. And it is what, if it is healthy, if it is not irregular, if it is not too sharp like Pitta, if it's not too sluggish like Kapha, if it's not too irregular like Vata, if it's in balance, if it is Sama Agni, then we'll be healthy. All our health problems, all diseases in Ayurveda, from as simple as cold cough to something as complicated as diabetes or cancer or any of that, everything, the root cause starts from digestion. So we need to bring back the focus to the Agni. Anything that disturbs our Agni, we have to stop it. We have to, but this is only we can only experience for ourselves, because I can do very well with spicy, like warm foods, because I'm Vata, but you may not be doing so well. So we have to observe our body and how is our Agni. And we are following the sun. What does that mean? So it's very interesting concept. You wake up, you ideally, what time are you guys getting up? I say, I would like to know. I want to know, I am not the only one who's getting up a little late. Huh? 7, 6, 4:30, who's getting up 4:30? High five. Respect. Respect. Nice. It's actually pretty cool if you can do that, because they say if you wake up in Brahma Muhurat. What is Brahma Muhurat? One Muhurat is 48 minutes. Huh? So sunrise ki time se 2 Muhurats before is Brahma Muhurat. 48 minutes plus 48 minutes. And sunrise time differs with the season. If you can wake up in Brahma Muhurat, then it is naturally a Vata time of the day. And we will feel light and we will feel more energetic. Our movements will be proper. And we can focus on our study or on our spiritual self or anything. Or Bhagwan ka naam le lo, agar subah uth gaye to jo bhi kar lo. Ab subah uthe hain to, and whosoever wakes up in the morning, apparently there is some proven thing that they also are more productive and they are little bit ahead of the curve, because by the time people are still waking up, they've already done the important things. So this really helps, but it majorly helps our health. So right now, whatever time we are getting up, can we try pushing it 15 minutes before? Can we attempt? Let's do that. Because हमारी आदतें भी तो होती है इतने सालों की, वो इतनी जल्दी तो change नहीं होती. So we'll try 15 minutes prior, so that we can start waking up little earlier than usual, and you would start seeing how much that makes a difference in it. So let's do that. Let's try that. Okay. Wake up in the Brahma Muhurat, because now, as when we see that when the sunrise happen, sun is out there. There's so much of brightness, but it's not hot. You know, it's not warm yet. वो तो होने लगता है भाई 8-9 बजे 10 बजे तक, फिर 12 बजे तक बहुत धूप होती है. Similarly, we have gotten up. The Agni is there, but it's not hot. Oven is not preheated. So we cannot put food, which is why when we wake up, we can't start eating chole bhature subah, right? We can't get up and eat immediately because the Agni is not ready. So how do we initiate our Agni? So we do small things to wake up our Agni. Like First thing what we can do is have warm water. Actually, before warm water, have you noticed that when we wake up, there is this white coating on the tongue? Everybody's noticed? This is natural. On certain, right now you can't see, but when you go back later and start observing your tongue in the mirror, anytime when you look at your tongue, if there is white coating still in through the day, then you know that the body has not digested the food. When you have extra white coating, there is still indigestion kind of happening. We need nice pink color tongue, always clean. So first thing when we wake up, let's start cleaning our tongue. Who all here clean tongues already? Oh wow, many people. I love that. And whosoever is not doing yet, let's try. It could be a little thoda sa awkward lagta hai because you take a copper tongue cleaner and you just take your tongue out and just start cleaning it. When you're doing that, gently do it, don't have to pressurize. When you do this, it takes out all that white coating, which is basically called AMA. AMA, basically which can be translated as toxins. The body is trying to remove the toxins. So when we do this, we are basically removing the toxins, and we are also, because tongue is related to internal organs, so we're waking up the Agni. And we are massaging the internal organs ki chalo sab uth jao, abhi hamara uthne ka time ho gaya. And the moment your tongue you're clean, and you can then start with drinking warm water. Who all here drinks water in the morning? How much water you guys drink? 1 liter? 1 glass? 2 glass? Acha, matlab 800, wow, measurement, 800 ml. Okay, so I'll give you a very simple measurement, okay? In Ayurveda, they say every body is different. Like if I look at my hand is this much, if it was a man's hand, it would be really little bigger. If it was a child's hand, it will be a little smaller. So Ayurveda, these acharyas were amazing. When they were writing these texts, so they said, you know what, we should come up with a measurement which should customize to an individual. So they said, let's bring your hand together, everybody. Now this hand is called Anjali. Is there anybody Anjali here? Huh? Okay. So this is called one Anjali. In the morning, you need 8 Anjali of your size of Anjali. 8 Anjali. So at home, just try this experiment. How many 8 Anjali? You can also drink like that, of course. If we had a waterfall, we'd be just drinking like that. This will be beautiful. But 8 Anjali is our personal body requirement for Usha Pan, morning water. Okay? If you drink this much water, this is going to wake up your metabolism really well. This is decent enough, and you don't need to add, acha, I will have this thing in it, then I'll add methi pani, jeera pani. I am so confused with the amount of information people share. First thing you wake up and have this, first thing you wake up and you have that, and first thing you wake up, I'm like, how many things I have to do first thing? Which is the first or the first, tell me that, you know. But actually, warm water by itself is enough. If you're noticing that thoda metabolism sahi nahi chal raha hai, maybe add a little bit of lemon juice to it, that's it. But otherwise, you don't need to keep adding newer and newer things, and don't confuse yourself and don't confuse your body. Especially if you have lived without having anything for so long, we are fine. Our body has its familiarity concept that it can stay healthy on its own as well. So let's do that. After that, we also still want to wake up our body. So there are other things that you can do. Put kajal in your eyes. Put oil in your nasal drop, which is called nasya. Put little oil in the ears, which is called karna purnam. And one very beautiful practice, actually it's not so beautiful, it's very little awkward, but it is the most effective practice for good gut health. And it's called oil pulling. Has anyone tried it? Oh wow, I'm so amazed and so impressed by all of you guys. Oil pulling, किसने अभी तक try नहीं किया है oil pulling? Okay, so ये थोड़ा सा odd होगा पहली बार करना, but क्या करना है हमें लेना है एक स्पूनफुल, एक बड़ा सा चम्मच तेल का. कौन सा? तिल का तेल, sesame oil. And we have to take a little like that. Let's say sesame oil. We'll take sesame oil. No heating required, nothing. Just take it in your mouth. And you keep, oh, don't swallow it. This was water, so I swallowed it. I'm like, don't swallow the oil, okay? You have to throw the oil. But how long you have to do it? Up to 3 to 5 minutes. And how do you see it's done? When the oil mixed with the saliva has become liquidy, then you can chuck it out. And ideally you want to chuck it out when like with the running water so that it doesn't clog or anything. So you just want to make sure. Now what this does, it's basically, it's like जैसे लोहा लोहे को काटता है ना, वैसे ये ऑयल जितना भी हमारे जो फैट, टॉक्सिन्स, जो लिपिड्स जो भी है उन सबको निकालेगा बाहर, और हमारे को एक तो बहुत अच्छी जॉ लाइन भी मिलेगी उससे, और हमारी चीक्स को ग्लो भी बहुत अच्छा मिलेगा, बिकॉज ऑयल इन संस्कृत, इन आयुर्वेदा, इट्स कॉल्ड स्नेह. एंड यू नो व्हाट स्नेह मीन्स? Love, right? Sneh means love. So when you apply oil externally, or when you use good fats in your diet, or when you do oil pulling, you're basically doing self-love. You're practicing self-love, self-care, right? So let's start with this oil pulling practice. This is a daily dinacharya practice. If you can't do it daily, at least do 2 to 3 times a week. You need 1 spoonful, that's it. 1 spoonful. And like a little big, apna jo regular chammach hota hai, that much. Ideally, sesame is the ideal. Ayurveda has only mentioned sesame oil. These days, people are saying use coconut oil, use these herbs, infused oil, all of that. They're making newer and newer products, but just stick to sesame oil. It's best. The gingerly oil, what you get here, right? That's sesame oil, right? That's just enough. Now, other than that, Abhyanga. Who all does oil massage here? Apart from the spas that we go. I saw some hands went down. I'm like, no, I just go to spa when I can. But no, that's beautiful. If you can do oil massage every day, your body is going to thank you. And plus, because jo bhi bolo, menopause is inevitable. And who all are already experiencing menopause or already have crossed over the menopause side? Crossed? Right. So you might be already noticing that your bone health is not as same as it used to be. Because with age, especially for women, the bone will start degenerating slightly, we'll start getting weaker. And so if we can start these practices of putting oil on our body, this can help us with better old age. So it can really be very effective. And also something that really helps with menstrual, and if you have girls, if you have daughters who are like 20s, 30s, 40s, I would highly recommend start with this one habit, again first thing in the morning, which is basically soaking raisins in the night. Raisins you can use, I use mixed raisins, munakka also, the black one, and also the golden one. And you soak it in the water in the night and drink and have those raisins in the morning. This ensures great menstrual health, periods, absolutely pain-free periods, if you continue this practice. And anybody who has PCOD or PCOS, then you can add 1 strand of saffron to the water and also drink the water. This is going to completely help us with the PCOS management. Just so you can take 4 to 5 raisins is enough. And I also would like to suggest, like recommend this one raisins brand. These are this Sangli in Maharashtra. There's a place called Sangli, women run farm called Amrani Farms. They have natural, organic, sun-dried raisins, and they give you mixed raisins box. It's really amazing. I regularly use them, so you could try with that as well. So menstrual health, that's important. Now, but when you have already, now your Abhyanga. So Abhyanga, when you're doing in the morning, you have to just make sure you do it before you have taken shower and all. And whenever in the morning when you're doing the oil massage. So for Abhyanga oil, you can see what suits you also. For example, some oils are warming oils, you know, like for example, sesame oil is, Ayurveda loves sesame oil for eating, for Abhyanga, for oil pulling, for everything, okay? But if you, let's say, you find sesame oil too sticky or too oily or too warming for yourself, you could use a olive oil, almond oil also. Coconut oil also you could use, but if your body is already, if you have a little extra fat in the body, overweight, don't use coconut oil. In fact, they say if you're trying to lose weight, instead of oil massage, do a dry massage, dry powder massage. Dry powder massage. And you can use triphala for it, you can use besan for it, and that also you can start. But whenever you're doing morning oil massage, movement should be downwards. Everybody try downwards movement, from shoulders to this, downwards. Why? When you do downwards movement, you're grounding yourself. But when you're trying to lose weight, when you want to like get a little bit more circulation in, then we move upwards, okay? But on the joints, on the chest, on the stomach, always round, round, shoulders round, right? If you can start with this practice, you will start noticing our relationship with our body starts getting better. So make it a little sacred ritual for yourself. If not every day, maybe once a week, take your time out and just, you know, put a nice music, a little candlelight, a little incense, a little diffuser, and just take a little warm oil and just massage your body. and just feel that whole divine feminine that you are, and just allow yourself to feel that. Because the more we come into our body, more we connect with it, better we shine out, you know. And it's very important for us to remember our true nature. As women, our true nature is not to go out and work and do this and ye karao, wo karao. We're not supposed to do so much masculine work. We're supposed to flow and dance and do creative things, nurture and gardening, all of that. So, but because now the roles have changed, we are living in a different world, but we need to bring back the feminine activities. So, who all here dance every day, like regularly? You all like dancing? Who all does not like dancing at all? Everybody likes dancing, thank God. Okay, once a week, a personal dance ritual should happen, where you put a nice music and just allow yourself to dance like no one's watching. This also is a very good, beautiful, and if you do it on Friday, why Friday? Because Friday is day of Venus. Venus goddess is off for the beauty and wisdom and also luxury. So if we start doing a Friday ritual, you'll start noticing how that impacts our life, right? Now, apart from things that we have to do every day, dincharya, we still have to take care that things that can affect our Agni. Now, everybody, we all eat food every day. So like, who eats food every day? Everybody eats food every day. Now, what we need to take care of? A, the biggest thing, which is the reason why we are falling ill again and again. What we are not doing, what we've simply forgotten is how to chew our food. We've stopped chewing our food. Why? Because we're watching TV or we're talking to somebody, so attention is not going. And with this mindlessness, because we're not mindful about it, we're just swallowing our food, gulping down food. And because of that, gulping down air and big chunks of food going, so it's getting difficult for body to break it down. So if we can start chewing our food really well, it's going to be a game changer. And you'll start noticing difference in how energetic you're feeling, how you will not have any complaint of any acidity, phlegm, burps, you know, or any kind of bloating, uneasiness. Just start chewing food well. How many times should we chew our food? Yeah, no, we don't have to do 32 times. ऐसे वो तो कह देते बच्चों को कह देते, you know. But actually, we do not need to count how many times we're chewing the food. We don't need to count the calories. We don't need to count the number of puris we are eating. All we need to do is count the blessings that we have food on our plate. This is a practice in Ayurveda and in spirituality that we need to keep coming back to. When you have food on your plate, just for a moment think. आज क्या खाया था lunch पे आप लोगों ने? मैं तो बिरयानी खाई यहाँ पे. आपने क्या खाया? पालक पनीर. Now let's say पालक पनीर, okay? पालक पनीर. वैसे आज पालक पनीर का भी इस सीजन नहीं यहाँ. अभी आज खाया आपने. इस सीजन में अभी नहीं खाना. मॉनसून के बाद खाना. मजा आएगा. So पालक पनीर जैसे खाया. Just to think of वो पालक कहाँ पे फार्म पे उगी है. कितने उसमें लोग इन्वॉल्व हैं. वहाँ तक आई हमारे पास. वो पनीर कहाँ गाय ने दूध दिया, कितने लोग आए हैं, और फिर उसके साथ हमने रोटी खाई, वो कहाँ गेहूँ कहाँ उगी थी. सो द होल यूनिवर्स हैज कंस्पायर्ड फॉर अस टू ईट दिस मील. सो फॉर अ सेकेंड वी जस्ट नीड टू एक्नॉलेज दैट वाओ, थैंक यू ममा अर्थ फॉर दिस फूड, और थैंक यू मी फॉर कुकिंग दिस फूड, थैंक यू माई हाउस हेल्प, थैंक यू जोमैटो गाय फॉर डिलीवरिंग दिस फूड, you know. But anything, just one little gratitude practice is going to change our relationship with food. And same food will start nourishing us so differently that you all will like, will fall in love with food, with this idea of eating. Because हम वो कहते हैं ना, पहले पेट पूजा फिर काम दूजा. तो पेट पूजा कर रहे हैं because ये जो है body, ये एक मंदिर है. It's a temple. When you are sitting down to eat your meal, make sure that you do the way you do puja, that it's nice and clean. You're sitting, and if you sit in Sukhasan, what is Sukhasan? That alti palti. If we can sit like that, it's the best. Why? Because when we sit in the Sukhasan, your core muscles are all engaged. You'll never end up overeating. Your food will go in proper quantity, and it will start digesting properly, much proper. But even if we can't sit in Sukhasan, because at restaurants it will be a little awkward, right? So we can always sit on table and chair. Never sit and eat on a couch or a bed. Why not? Because when we sit on a couch or a bed, we slouch. We don't realize, but our back is not straight. And when we slouch, the stomach will end up taking more food. And by the time stomach gives signal to the brain that I am full, it has already overeaten. It always has. So we need to, and also by the way, astrologically they say, never eat your meal in your bed. because it's like the Annapurna, you know, like it's not, the food shouldn't go under the bed at all. It's a complete different energy. Where we sleep and where we eat is a complete different energy. So we start taking care of small things like that. I'm sure you all have already like know these things. I'm just doing a reminder class. This is just a reminder because I've realized small things. We've heard all of these things. And because it's our Indian wisdom, it's already in our blood. We don't need to worry about it. But small things, if we can take care of, it will help us with our Agni. Another thing, just last thing I want to talk about Agni is the water. How much water to drink, when to drink. Water should only be had when we are thirsty. We shouldn't be actually be dependent on the app to tell us how now please pani pi lo, please pani pi lo. We should be able to tell. So what are the signs our body gives when it is thirsty? Do you know what's the sign? The dryness. So first thing is the dryness of lips. Everybody observe your lips. Yeah? पानी पीना है? चलो पानी पिएंगे. So अभी पानी पीने का भी एक तरीका होता है. सब आप लोग तो बैठे हुए हो, तो अगर हमेशा पानी बैठ के पीना है, so पानी लिया. और एक ये जो सबकी आदत होती है खड़े होके घट 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 घट, never. Always sit down. When we sit down, now what happens that your lymphatic drainage system, it's relaxed, must relax, and what happens, the water will, it will hydrate each and every cell properly. So we sit down, our nervous system is relaxed, lymphatic drainage is proper, take the water. I personally have this practice where I also bless the water. So I'll just thank you so much. Or today, for example, I have this, I'm like, give me all the wisdom, share here, give me all the courage to do this, give me all the blessings, or I just want to feel loved. Whatever you want to ask water, you can ask it. And then take the water, for just 1 second keep it in your mouth. Try this. So when you take little break between that, this is the proper way to hydrate ourselves. And we need to hydrate ourselves. Why? Because we are made of 76% water. Kahan se aayega varna? We need that for our proper optimal functioning of our body, for our brain, for our better skin, for better hair, for everything we need water, right? So this can take care of our Agni completely. Make sure water always sitting down only when we are thirsty. First sign is when the dry lips. Second sign is when your urine color is yellow color. So always make sure that we need to, then wash your hands, come back, drink water, sit down, drink water. Very important, right? Metabolism जिसको भी active करना है, weight lose करना है, skin clearer करनी है, always go for warm water. Warm water will always help us better. And let's say if you're noticing that everybody is again at home, thodi immunity, again we are falling sick, then what we can do is boil the water till it's half and then cool it down and then drink it. This water is called Ushnodaka because this water becomes more digestible by body, because Ayurveda says that we need to digest the water also. So when we cook the water down, it becomes lighter for us, and especially if anybody is unwell at home, only give boiled water. And especially when seasons are changing. Right now we are in peak monsoon technically, but when seasons gonna shift, we'll start observing again a little, after monsoon this whole heat starts, because Sharad Ritu is that, humidity, and then a lot of heat will come. So when the seasons are changing, always go for warm water and easier lighter meals, okay? This can take care of our Agni. Water, no water for 30 minutes after your meal, because we don't want to dilute the acids, dilute the Agni. We don't want to diffuse the fire, that's it. ये वो है सिलसिला चाहत का जो मैंने बुझने ना दिया, है ना? वो अग्नि इतनी सेक्रेड है, हमें इसको हमेशा ही बना के रखना है, हमेशा ये स्ट्रॉन्ग रहनी चाहिए. Then we can be completely be healthy. This Agni is coming. Anybody has any question related to Agni, digestion, metabolism? Yes? Right. That also. There's also, so it's also our mind telling us. Sometimes it's like that. I'm craving, let's say, a chocolate cake, for example, okay? Actually, my body is just wanting something sweet, something creamy or fatty, which is why it's saying, okay, chocolate cake, because that's what we used to. But if you give it a little jaggery also, it will be okay. So when you tell yourself, but if your body is actually not feeling quenched, then you may have a lot of heat in the body. So then, matka water is just enough for you. The fridge water will never quench your thirst. Matka water will. Matka water has this property to quench our thirst, to hydrate us better, and it gives us, it energizes us. So for you personally, you stick to one, you know, when those clay bottles water comes, you keep it in that. And for anybody who wants to work extra on metabolism, keep your water in copper bottle. But no copper bottle usage in summers, okay, because then it gets too heaty for us. उस वक्त सिर्फ हम मटका water करते हैं, ठीक है? But I do understand, while Ayurveda says ice cold मत लो, ठंडा ठंडा मत लो, if your Agni is strong, if your metabolism is fine, you can go around and have a little cold things also, it's fine. But always observe your body. Every body is different, right? So we can take care of that. Mindfulness, everybody knows what is mindfulness? That when you're eating your meal, phone पे ना रहे, TV ना देखे, किसी से बात ना करे, सिर्फ ध्यान दे कि wow, all the 5 senses, that how's my food looking? Wow, so beautiful. As many colors as possible. Because when you look at a colorful, beautiful and nicely plated food, you know, when we look at Instagram pe good looking pictures, what happens? You feel like eating them. When you think about, like, when you even think of like pani puri, when you think of like nice chole tikki with like chatpate imli chutney, मुंह में पानी आने लग जाता है, right? That's the power of senses. When you hear, and you तड़का एक जब आता है, उसकी smell आती है. So when you smell the food, when you look at the food, when you touch the food, it all helps us with more saliva. And more saliva means more digestive enzymes, better Agni, right? Always include your 5 senses. Very simple logic hai. It's too simple. It's too good to be true. Yeah? It's too simple to be true. मैं लोगों को weight loss webinar, I've taught thousands of people to like do just with these small practices of making sure that you are, I make them do pinky promise. I say, let's do pinky promise that we will only eat our meal, not do anything else. So people do it 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, फिर bore हो जाने लग जाते हैं. So what I started doing was, initially, because I used to watching TV, right? So what we can do is we can start listening to a podcast on the side. So we're not, at least visually not disturbed. Maybe start listening to music and then focus on your just food. So that way you create a little habit to get into more mindfulness. But try as mindful living if you can. And if you have young kids at home, this is the time you inculcate these habits. Because aage jaake, like honestly, we in our 30s and 40s are figuring out our relationship with emotional eating. And then when we are, you know, when we are sad, we want to overeat. When we are angry, then I'm eating spicy food. You know, all of these things happen. So we need to already teach our kids to be mindful and enjoy all the food. Do not eat any food with guilt, please. Every food is good for us. It's our thoughts that makes it good. So every food that comes on your plate, and say thank you so much for this beautiful food. You know, I remember there was this one time at 3 a.m. I was feeling a little lonely. I was in Goa and I was like, okay, I feel like eating ice cream. Now ice cream is anti-Ayurveda completely. Ek to because it's frozen, it's paired with fruits or it's with milk, so it's not okay. And eating at that time, which is like at 4 a.m., it's completely wrong. So too much knowledge sometimes doesn't let you enjoy things. But at that moment, I sat with that ice cream, and you know, I don't know if you guys have tried Mr. Gelato in Goa. Oh, good gelatos. Go to Goa, please have Anjuna Mich gelatos, okay? So, and I'm eating this and I'm looking at ice cream and saying, thank you for existing. Like right now there's nobody and this is like too late in the night, but you are here and I'm feeling so good. This is like you are my best friend right now, I need it. And thank you. And I'm telling my body, you know, I put you through so much. Please digest this also. Please take care of this. Only when you start speaking kindly to your body, instead of, now I have to work out, now I have to do this, now 4 days now I will not eat anything. Don't do this. Don't do this. Okay? Speak to your body kindly. It's so used to listening to the comments and labels and tags that it started believing the lies. Your body is awesome. Tell it you're awesome. Okay? Everybody tell your body it's awesome. And say thank you for doing all that you do. And hug yourself, everybody. Come hug yourself. Just like give a squeeze. Nice one hug. Chalo, everybody hug. Hug yourself and say thank you for doing everything that you do. It feels so good to hug yourself. And these are the daily practices that we must do to just connect with ourselves. And while this is not part of Ayurveda, but I've realized that my understanding of life and body is becoming this, that we need to understand ourselves and support ourselves in this life. And then wisdom like Ayurveda really helps to know what is right and what is wrong. General rules I've already discussed, most of these, Sukhasan, great gratitude. Make sure never shower on full stomach. Khana khane ke baad hame nahana nahi chahiye. I have heard many unfortunate cases where people have, you know, had heart attack in the bathroom while taking shower. It's because we have, let's say if we have stomach is full, all the circulation is going towards your digestion, And when you go to the shower, circulation is going to go towards skin, and that causes blood pressure irregulation. And if you already have a blood pressure issues, it can be really be difficult for us, for body to cope. So never ever shower on full stomach. Always first take shower and then eat. If we have eaten, then don't take shower for that day. It's okay, or take after later, 3-4 hours later, okay? And Ayurveda is cute, huh? It says don't eat food around noisy people. Don't make sure that your enemy has not cooked the food and there's no hungry people around you. I'm like, street food pe to kya hi hota hai? Matlab everybody is eating, or even at restaurants, it gets noisy, right? But as much as possible, try to eat in calm environment, because our body is receiving the nourishment that it needs to receive, right? Of course, no unclean dishes, no opponents, no enemies. So also one thing that, how do I now understand this when, because technically the enemies are not cooking for us, but let's say we don't know what, because it's a fact, every mummy's food is tasty, right? Why? मम्मी के हाथ खाने में ऐसा क्या होता है? प्यार होता है, वही बात है, क्योंकि वो एक अच्छी भावना से, वो ममता से बनाते हैं. तो जो भी खाना बनाता है उसका जो इमोशन है वो खाने में जाता है, ये सच है. तो हमें अगर हमारे घर पे अगर हाउस हेल्प खाना बना रहे हैं, हमें उनको खुश रखना है. और खुश रखना कैसे? उनको हाउ डू दे गेट हैप्पी? सो वन थिंग इज ऑफ कोर्स इफ दे डिसेंटली पेड दे आर हैप्पी, बट वी डोंट नीड टू ऑलवेज पे पीपल टू मेक देम हैप्पी. We can actually, when they come home, we ask them, how are you doing? Offer them water, speak nicely to them. When they feel seen, loved, they put that love back into the food. And especially if they are cooking meals for even our kids, let's make them part of our family, so that the food that we're eating is so much more nourishing for us, right? And please know that when we eat food in different metals like silver or gold or even Kansa, so Kansa is the healthiest metal to eat in. It actually balances all three doshas, especially if you have a weight loss, if you want to achieve good metabolism, have it in Kanse की थाली. उसका थोड़ा सा क्लीनिंग का ये रहता है कि हम उसको इमली से या किसी भी सावर लेमन से हम उसको क्लीन रख सकते हैं अच्छे से, बट ईट इन कांसा. इवन कुकिंग यूटेंसिल्स, वी नीड टू मूव अवे फ्रॉम एल्यूमिनियम और नॉन स्टिक्स दैट हैव वोर्न आउट. वी नीड टू गो बैक टू ट्रेडिशनल यूटेंसिल्स. कौन से होते थे ट्रेडिशनल यूटेंसिल्स? कास्ट आयरन. व्हाट एल्स? So steel is newer phenomena. Steel is okay because it is not reactive, so it's fine. But if you want the benefits from it, so let's drain copper or petal, you know, all of these. So and also clay. Chatti में खाना बनाते हैं ना जो मिट्टी के इसमें, that's also very good for us. In fact, iron absorption by the body can happen the best when you cook the meal in iron का बर्तन. So लोहे की कढ़ाई, लोहे का तवा, उस पे जब खाना बनाएंगे, we'll never have iron deficiencies at all. Okay, so let's start including those as well. These are super simple practices. These are the 10 holy grails of good health. Holy grail, always eat freshly prepared food. When you eat food which is cooked just within 3 to 5 hours, best prana, best, it's the most amount of energy that you will receive from it. But let's say आज के ज़माने में अभी ज़्यादा खाना बन गया, फ्रिज है हमारे पास, 5000 साल पहले नहीं था फ्रिज, तो आयुर्वेदा ने कुछ बताया ही नहीं फ्रिज का खाना खाना है नहीं खाना है. So, magar, because we have technology, the shelf life can be increased. But let's say if there is leftover food we are eating, you can reheat the food and bring back some prana by reheating with little bit of ghee and little bit of rock salt. That makes the food again little bit more fresher. Okay, this is a little hack my Ayurveda teacher taught me. Food should all, anybody who wants to have, oh, I don't want oil in my food at all. Dry, I don't want ghee on my dal, or I don't want tadka, and do not do that. Dal need that tadka because otherwise it's going to increase the vata, it increase the gas. So dal का तड़का लगाते हैं इसीलिए ताकि उसको digest कर सकें, ठीक है? So इसलिए हम recipes को इतना change नहीं करेंगे. हाँ, so we gonna eat good fats. What are the good fats? Ghee, avocados. What else? Sesame oil, cold press oils. So Ayurveda, so what oils are you using at home for cooking? Coconut, sesame, what else? Mustard. What else? Olive oil is good. So the oils that are coming from nuts and seeds are great for us. Best is ghee, coconut, groundnut, mustard and sesame, 5 of these good fats. But sunflower is also good, olive oil for other recipes good, avocado oil is good for us. Rice bran is decent, there's no oil in it, so the extraction process is a lot. And surely stay away from the vegetable refined oil. It's just chiknahat, it's just calories, it has no health benefits for our bone health. And we need the oils for our bone health, for lubrication, right? So it's very important. Food should be proper quantity. सबने घर में चटनी बनाई है मिक्सर जार में, ऊपर तक भर जाते हैं तो क्या होता है, चटनी का जार पीसता नहीं है, right? The chutney won't actually, पीसो को क्या बोलते हैं, won't grind, yeah. But so we need to remember this, need to leave a little room. अगर हम यहाँ तक खाएंगे तो वो खाना डाइजेस्ट नहीं होगा. If after eating meal you're like, okay, now I'm gonna go and sleep, I can't move, we have overeaten. So what do we do when we have overeaten? What should we do? Walk. Walk is very nice. Another thing what we can do is sit in Vajrasana. In fact, walk is something everybody should do after every meal. 100 steps. Shat Pavali. When you, after every meal, you take 100 steps, that helps us is with better like food going down properly, plus blood sugar level doesn't rise. Immediately after eating the meal, you can just do a little walk, just for like 5 minutes. That's it. That really helps. Okay? And acha, jis din overeating kar liye, next meal, much lighter or skip the meal. Okay? Food should be eaten after digestion of previous meal. मतलब भूख लगे तभी खाना है. और hungry कैसे पता चलता है आपको कि अब you are hungry? What is your sign of hunger? Cranky? Okay. What else? Stomach grumbles. What else? Feel low on energy? Yeah, and hangry, of course. That is also possible. So there is another very, I had never thought of this. This is even possible. Like as a women, we didn't even know that we were allowed to burp. You know, but when our burp has no taste, that means the previous food has digested. It's crazy. So right now, can you try burp on trial? On demand, can you burp? Yeah, I can taste my biryani. Yeah. A little bit of salan also, because it's still here. So you can still taste your food. And if you can't burp, that's actually okay. But understand when you feel lighter, when there's a little, if you'll observe more, you will have a little, your voice will also change. Some people get immediately headache if they've not eaten properly, if not eaten at all. Some people have the stomach growling, or some people just like, time ho gaya, kha lao. You know, we don't check that whether I am hungry or not. So always watch your hunger. But of course, it pays well to stick to the timings, okay? Other, food shouldn't be antagonist. What is antagonist? Ayurveda ke hisab se certain foods do not go together. Now this is quite debatable, by the way, because if you look at, they say don't pair fruits with dairy at all. So now we have seen many people had banana milkshakes in their life. Banana and milk is not allowed in Ayurveda at all because they both are heavy for body and it can cause us lot more phlegm and mucus. But it will be more for a kapha person already with that property. So you can observe how your body feels, but if we can stick away from that, they say have fruits on its own. It's a simple rule, because simple sugar, no? If you pair it with milk, if you pair it with the grains, then it gets difficult for body to digest it. So watermelon feta salad, who likes it? I also like it, yeah. It's the Ayurvedic pap, okay? It's delicious pap, okay? But it is Ayurvedic pap, because the cheese is so heavy, watermelon is so light, you know. But I'm still finding it debatable, because if you look at Mediterranean diet, which is the healthiest diet as per WHO, they use a lot of salads and you know, in the fruits in it and cheeses paired with things. So I'm wondering that certain rules we can turn around if your Agni is strong. If your Agni is strong, do all pap, no problem. Okay? Keep your Agni strong so that you can do. So I keep my Agni strong so I can eat my things. I can have ice cream late night. So we need to keep our Agni strong, okay? Milk and fruits and milk and grains should not be paired together, except mango. Mango is allowed. Some doctors also said sitafal. Milk and curd also should never be put together. You know how dahi ko patla karne ke liye hum doodh dal dete? Never do that, because wo uska do different form hai milk ke. So don't pair. Ghee what? Kheer. Kheer is good. Kheer is okay. Kheer is okay. Milk and rice is cooked together with the spices. So it's fine for us. Please do not eat food too fast. Chewing and swallowing is proper. Also no talking and laughing. Why? Because when everybody might have experienced this, when we, you know, kuch khate baat kar rahe the aur wo thaska lag jata hai. Why does it happen? You know what's the logic behind it? Because our food pipe and windpipe are very close together. One epiglottis, that one little dhakkan, when the, you know, it's like a lift ka darwaza. When the food comes, the epiglottis, for a second, shut the windpipe so the food can move into the food pipe. And food is going down, inwards. And when we are talking, we talk outwards. Try talking in your hand right now. So you see, kuch bhi bolo. So you see the energy is going out, the air is coming out. Opposite, conflicting energy. So never talk or laugh while eating a meal. Simple. वो अलग बात है हम रेस्टोरेंट में सारी बातें करते सबसे ज़्यादा तो you know. Which one? Food should be proper quantity. The same point that we should not be overeating, and about the water, because water is essential for our digestion also. So leave that one room. So we have 1 part water, 2 parts food, and 1 part empty basically. And water we are not having for 30 minutes after the meal. So that, but we can have water before the meal. If we can have during, few sips are fine. Because we are also used to sometimes having something with it. But this culture of, okay, ma'am, what you want to order? We ordered a dish and it's like, what would you like to drink along with it? And we're like, okay, iced tea and this and that. Do not order anything. They say, no, I'm good. I just want to have water. By the time your order is coming, drink that 1 glass of water. This will ensure liquid medium for food to digest. And B, that because the space is taken by water, you'll not end up overeating. Right? So that really helps. But few sips along with the meal, like almost about 1 cup, is still fine because sometimes, you know, you want change of taste, sometimes it's a spice or whatever. Little sips is okay to soften the food. But 30 minutes tak will wait, right? Buttermilk is still allowed. Because buttermilk bhi kaun sa? Not wo jo apan lassi Punjabi wali jo itna bada glass wo nahi ha. Because लोग उसको समझ लेते हैं इतना बड़ा केसर की लस्सी और पराठे खिला देते हैं हमको बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है. But buttermilk is, Ayurvedic buttermilk is called tak, which is basically इतना सा दही, this much water, and you churn it really well in a blender or with a madhani, and ऊपर the fat will come, and you skim that fat out, and then you have this just simple light little liquid which is probiotic also, and to that you can add rock salt, cumin powder, maybe a little ginger or coriander, whatever you like. That is still allowed. But no, don't have it in the cold seasons and try to avoid it in the evenings. Also one Viruddha rule, no yogurt post sunset. No yogurt, even with biryani, sorry. Even with biryani, no yogurt. Because yogurt when you eat after the sunset, it will cause lot more phlegm and mucus in your body. And you can try it today have 1 more pap you do, and tomorrow morning you observe your tongue. And you will notice that actually there is more white coating. So that made sense to me also. So I was like, this Ayurvedic rule I will apply. This I can discard. This pap I allow, this one no. So yogurt, if by chance, let's say if you still have to have, I would highly recommend just make it a little tadka to it, so that it becomes little lighter for body and it's not as heavy. That's it. Okay. I do a simple curry patta, salt, little jeera tadka. Bas TV भी नहीं देखना, ये सब sorted. This is a beautiful thing. Everybody, women, we are exactly like Mama Moon. Exactly like. We had a full moon 2 days ago on the 1st. I want to ask, you all, any of you were also a little extra emotional on those days? थोड़ा कुछ extra emotions आ रहे थे for no reason. There was nothing happening but just feeling. You know why? We are actually in sync with the moon, and we know that during full moon it causes high tides in the ocean. Earth is covered with 76% ocean. We have 76% water. When it can causes high tides in the ocean, what it can do to us? So us feeling emotion is the high tides. And why some of us feel extra emotions? Because we have that connection with the moon. And if we can start meditating on that day and just easing on that day, you know, on full moon time, ऐसे बोलते थे कि you know, दूर रहो ladies से, मतलब उनको ना क्या सामने बताओ, because they would feel extra energetic. So full moon time is the time for us to observe all that is coming, sit with it, and sometimes a lot more emotions only come so that we can let them go. Because this is पता नहीं किसने कितना टाइम पहले क्या बोला था, अभी तक बुरा लग रहा है हमें, पता भी नहीं चलता है कौन कौन सी, क्योंकि हम लोग की बहुत अच्छी भी आदत है, जाने दो कोई बात नहीं, मिट्टी पाओ, पंजाबी में होते मिट्टी पाओ, हर चीज़ पे मिट्टी पाओ. बट वो करने के कारण क्या होता है, sometimes, and with our Indian culture, emotions do not get processed. So we need to sit with those emotions. So full moon time, if we can sit, meditate, and see what all I need to let go in my life, and make a list, maybe do a write and burn ritual. On new moon though, we can make a list of things that we want in our life, and make a wish list and manifest and make a vision board. And as the moon increases in the size, we will get those things manifest in our life. So it's just a beautiful phenomena. But also if you look at the menstrual cycle and the lunar cycle, exact same. Imagine we just had our periods, it got over, so we have new moon. like as now moon increasing in the size, we have the uterus starts making this cell lining around it. And by the 14-15 day, we have ovulation, full moon, the eggs come, which is full moon. And so at that time, we're feeling sensual, much more energetic, and which is why Bollywood used to play romantic songs during full moon, because they would want that to happen. But because we're not every time trying to conceive a baby. So then what happens? Then the egg will have to degenerate, all the cells lining has to go. So after full moon, it starts degenerating, reducing in the size, going back to then removing it from the body with the periods and completely bringing us in harmony. So all our hormonal health come back in the balance. And so exactly like moon cycle. So if we can start really, if we start meditating, you'll start noticing people who have already have crossed menopause, it's different. But if your periods can sync to that, then you are in alignment with nature, with the rhythm of it. But they also say that the women who get their periods during full moon instead of new moon are actually one of those midwives and who have this purpose to help others basically. So that's also very interesting phenomena in the spirituality. But know that our period health, our moon cycle, our menstrual cycle is very, very important for our overall mental health as well. On certain days we just feel great. On certain days we do not feel great. It also is because of which phase that we are in our cycle, and we need to keep bringing us back into the balance. It's exactly same. So you see, menstruation is etymologically related to moon. So need to rest, create a sacred space, nourish yourself through food. Skin and beauty rituals during full moon and new moon will always be glorious for us, and journaling really helps at that point of time. So as I said, letting go, writing journals and what you want in life. Or if nothing, just go into the jungle and just like make a circle with your women and just like do some sacred ritual. It's beautiful. I've been doing full moon rituals since last 2-3 years, and I've really been enjoying that phase. I really, really am enjoying this whole womb alchemy that I'm discovering now. So meet me on the next full moon or a new moon, okay? We'll probably dance together around a sacred fire, okay? These are the foods that will really nourish us during our phases. So this is a menstrual phase where we need a little bit of more balancing, a little bit of more fats. It's good to have a little warm beverages, while ice cream is what calls out to us, but a hot chocolate, a warm ginger tea or something will really help us during periods. Warm khichdi, warm ginger tea, all of these will helpful. And chocolate is very good during the menstrual health. Cacao anyways considered as food of gods, theobroma. It's considered as that. And but good quality cacao, not like the cocoa solids with palm oil mixed, which is packaged in a purple color packet, just say. Yeah. In a follicular time, we should be having more fermented foods which help us stimulating. We'll feel also more energetic. You'll be able to do much more work in that phase. The luteal phase is different. We want more grounding, sweet potatoes, strength training, all of that will help us. And during ovulation, we feel extra social. We can actually, if you start looking, you can actually plan your meetings around, plan your everything around this, so you can actually feel much more accomplished. It's beautiful, this phenomena, when you understand your own womb, your own periods, absolutely. This is a nice meme I found. Before 20, you hunt for eggs. In 20s, try to cook eggs. In 30s, you freeze our eggs, basically. Okay, these are the daily practices that can really help us. Wow, so simple. Everybody breathe with me. Hand on heart. One deep inhale. And long and slow exhale. Like blowing out a candle. One more time. See, the whole energy of the room changes. Breath is beautiful. Yeah, so basically when you blow out from your mouth long and slow, what it does, it completely brings our nervous system to relaxed state. It brings your palpitation, your heartbeat to normal rate. So this is a neuroscientist called Andrew Huberman. He shares a lot of YouTube videos on these, and he has talked a very interesting thing about this. You know how we have Yoga Nidra, where we are relaxing each body part? They have these days come up with NSDR, non-sleep deep rest, which is basically you're relaxing each body part, and long and slow exhale, they relax your body completely. So this, with your mouth when you exhale long and slow, with just like a blowing out candle, that completely relaxes you, like that. And so breath is actually our ultimate medicine. If you want to feel energized, you know, these kind of pranayams that when we do, the different kind of practices that, does anybody practice pranayams here? Quite handful hands. I am we're telling you please continue with it. Whosoever is not doing, start with basic one. Alternate nostril, or just taking deep breaths, relaxing yourself. But breath, however you want to feel, you can do that with the breath, okay? It's the ultimate medicine. Deep breathing is really, it can help us with that. Second is, please using as much as possible organic, natural products for our skin, and instead of artificial fragrances. Wash your face with at least 4 to 5 times in the day, especially during this time. Everybody is noticing like a mixed oily skin this time, T-zone kind of thing, because yeah, this monsoon time it does that, right? So please don't use cleanser or face wash more than 2 times. 1 time is enough, or baaki time you can do this. And upturns are always, of course, best if you can do. Every 2-3 days, indulge in face masking, hair masking. Every night before sleeping, brushing or combing your hair also promotes great circulation going to our scalp, which promotes great hair growth. So if we can start practicing that, is beautiful. Everyday Abhyanga practice, as I said, oil is called sneh. When you apply sneh on yourself, that's the best self-care, self-love practice, okay? It's really good for us. Using flowers. Who all loves flowers, like especially when you're putting flowers in the hair? If you next time see a flower, put it in your hair, okay? It's the most beautiful thing. Flowers carry such subtle energies. At the end of the day, we all are flowers. We forget that. We need to treat ourselves as that. Be gentle with ourselves. Speak to ourselves kindly. So when you use flowers in different way, and you can use flowers in the form of essential oil, rose water for spritzing, for jasmine, for just like helping your, like just even with your, on your hair, or even with it cleanses the aura as well. So just use flowers for different things, and they have their subtle energies to create positive environment. And as I already mentioned about the soaked resins, very good for iron, for blood circulation, for better metabolism, and for menstrual health. Who all walk here in the morning and evening? So morning is little better because of the pollution being lesser, right? But if we are still walking, that's enough, that's good. Walking is literally the greatest practice that we can do for ourselves. And gratitude practice, at the end of the day, that really helps us. And knowing that we love ourselves. We might be work in progress in many aspects, but according to Louis Hay, who has written this book called You Can Heal Your Body, You Can Heal Your Life, right? You can heal your life? Yeah. So it talks about every disease has an emotional root cause. Ayurveda also says the same thing. Liver लोगों का fail होता है, उन लोगों का भी fail होता है जिन्होंने कभी alcohol नहीं पिया हो. क्यों? क्योंकि उतना मगर एंगर किया, हेटरेट किया, जेलेसी किया, सोशल मीडिया पे इसको देखा, उसको देखा, ये होता है. So we need to start observing the emotions, because they can actually affect and cause diseases in us. Cancer, for example, is nothing but we had this one thought, we started worrying about it, overthinking about it. It then became that one cell which started growing in that stage that now it's become harmful for us. Imagine, one thought, if not controlled, can take us to that level. So let's see, in our body, if we are great, if we are healthy completely, it's fine. But even if you have any kind of smallest to smallest dis-ease, not at ease, then we can start watching the emotion that might be causing, okay? And we need to process the emotion. We don't need to always talk to people that तूने मेरे साथ ये किया, तूने मेरे साथ ये किया. We can journal, we can send forgiveness from far, and sometimes the best self-care practice is to stay silent, not tell people what they did, but let them know. Yes? Sorry? Previous slide. This one? Deep breathing, organic products, washing face. I'll send you this PPT, yeah? We'll email it to everybody. I've anyway given it to you guys, so that you can always have this, huh? Because I think to keep going back, it will be really nice to revise, huh? So everybody with me. I love myself. I approve of myself. And I'm perfect as I am. And मैं अपनी favorite हूँ. कैसा लगा सुन के? ऐसा रोज खुद को बोलना, दिन में 3 बार, सुबह और शाम को भी, ओके? जैसे हम ये करेंगे ना, तो ये जो थोड़ी बहुत भी जो कसर बची हुई है ना, हम कभी कभार we see what other person is thinking about us, or how we are looking, all of that, ये सब भी चला जाएगा, because we will be so comfortable in who we are. We know our flaws. Nobody knows better than us. We hide our flaws also very well. We hide our pain very well. That's the saddest part. As women, I feel the saddest, the most worst life skill, I tell you what, how silently we can cry, that the person next to us will not even get to know that we were crying. I think it's the worst life skill. Please if you have like closest best friends or sisters who understand, once a week do a Rona Dhona night. Okay? I tell you why. Because you need to let go, yeah. You know, one thing that is, when we don't cry, when was the last time you guys cried? I want to know. When was the last time you cried? Today you cried? High five. When was the last time you cried? Yesterday? Yesterday is good. Who didn't cry this week at all? अरे यार, जरा कोई सेंटी से कोई पिक्चर विक्चर देखो, उससे रोना आ जाए, फिर कुछ याद भी कर लेना, ठीक है? But we need to cry. Crying is essential, because when we don't cry, we actually we'll still storing the emotion that we're experiencing. And please know that salt heals us. Salt heals us, whether through tears, whether through sweat or through ocean. It heals us. अब हैदराबाद में ओशन तो नहीं है ना? ओके, कोई बात नहीं. तो घर में सबके पास बाल्टी है. बाल्टी में पानी में खूब सारा नमक डालेंगे तो बनेगा खारा पानी, समुद्र जैसा. And then you soak your feet, or you bathe with it, or do the pocha with it, with the namak ka pani, and you will start seeing that all the negativity from your area, from your house, from your mindset, from your energy will start clearing off. And crying is best. Again, coming back to that, just cry, okay? So with I thought I've told my girlfriends, we have to sit, we do Rona Dhona night, everybody say something, ro do, kuch nahi hota, ek senti sa, This Is Us is best, I'm telling you. There's a show called This Is Us. It's so senti, every time you watch, it's so sad that you start crying. It's also wholesome, sometimes happy tears. But when you cry, you will start feeling so lighter, and you'll feel great. So please cry, okay? And also, please, as I said, please allow yourself to dance, because that's where our divine feminine in us feels alive, you know. And lastly, so ek good pani piyenge isi baat pe, because hydration is everything. There's only one thing that I want to leave you with. Everybody's sitting, only I need to sit. So bless your water, bless your water. What do you want? Choose one word. I want, let's say, peace or joy or success, whatever you, one word. Ask that water. I wish for that, and then sip. And when you're sipping, just see that feeling going inside, that love trickling down. Wow. Can you feel that now? Same water, but feels different, because you blessed it and you charged it with your what? Your energy. And your energy is everything. So every day, because we are at home, and we as women, this is this one role that is given to us, our hands are healing hands. So when you're cooking, and let's say if you're not cooking at home, but whatever matka, the source of water that you have at home, for the whole family, just bless that matka. And just say, okay, give, you know, मेरे सब बच्चों को protection मिले, मेरे husband को, मेरे बाकी सब family को बहुत peace मिले, शांति मिले, सुकून मिले. सुकून is best यार. खुशी होना हो, सुकून होना चाहिए, मुझे लगता है यार. खुशी तो बहुत overrated हो जाती है, आती चली जाती है, dopamine है, वो तो कुछ नहीं है. You know, सुकून is everything. Everything that makes you feel good and makes you feel like, हाँ यार, ये जी रहे हैं तो लग रहा है कुछ जी रहे हैं, वरना तो time ही काट रहे थे यहाँ पर. So do things that make you feel alive. Do it with people who make you feel alive, जिनके साथ energy, जिनके साथ होते तो अच्छा लगता है. नहीं तो कुछ लोग होते हैं ना, you want to avoid them. उनका phone भी आता है तो you're like, अरे यार, उठाना पड़ेगा. Because the energy doesn't match, and we have to sometimes, for certain रिश्ते नाते, we have to force ourselves. But जितना हो सके, कोई ऐसी किसी से मीटिंग करके आए, किसी से मिलके आए ना, जब अच्छा नहीं लग रहा हो, immediately salt water bath. Immediately, okay, I call back my own energy and I let go of whatever I've picked. But come back to yourself, stay hydrated, eat nourishing food, eat as much as possible local, fresh and seasonal, and keep that Agni alive, and keep yourself, just giving yourself more and more self-love, more and more self-love. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Amrita, for sharing so much knowledge with us. I now open the session to the audience for a few questions.
Come here. Whoever wants to ask question, come here.
We've got a mic. They're circulating the mic.
Okay, yeah, the mic.
Hi, Amrita.
Hello.
Thank you for this lovely session. One question, Ayurveda also believes a lot in ritus,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
now a lot of people have a lot of hair fall during this
This
monsoon
season, yes.
season. So how do you work with that?
Right.
And what is it that the changes that you should keep in mind when the seasons are changing?
Right. So this is such a beautiful question, good thing. So Dincharya ke baad I wanted to talk about Ritucharya, but we went into Agni. So we have 6 seasons in Ayurveda. Okay, and seasons कैसे change होते हैं? Because sun की position earth से जब change होती है. You know, when January में जब हम लोग मनाते हैं मकर संक्रांति, that's called Uttarayan. In Gujarat they also do the patang, right? So Uttarayan means sun is in north position for 6 months till the monsoon comes. Then it's in Dakshinayan, which is so that's why the sun is not as energetic. So which is why we are also, our metabolism is not as strong. Which is why we face these kind of digestive problems, sometimes hair loss problem. In fact, पुरानी चोटें दर्द करने लगती है मानसून के टाइम से, ये ठंड में दर्द होने लग जाता है. Because we need to keep ourselves more warm and nourished, which is not coming from the sun that time. So when you look at specifically for this Varsha Ritu, this Varsha Ritu is related to movement. Rain is a movement. Which was the dosha which was movement related? Vata. So Vata gets disturbed during this season, which is why we are experiencing a lot more, sometimes anxious thoughts, sometimes a little bit more restlessness, and we face issues like hair fall and all that. Which is why at this time extra nourishment, extra moisture. So which is why हम लोग क्या खाते हैं इस season में? भजिया क्यों खाते हैं? क्योंकि that's good fat for us. So the oils that we eat during that time, and doing Abhyanga practices. And in fact, if you look at specifically for hair, this hair fall is very common and it will automatically subside by the size. But we need to take care of our bone health. Why bone health? In Ayurveda, we have different concept of tissues. So we have plasma and we have blood and then muscles and fat and bone marrow and all of that. 7 tissues are formed. When we eat something today, 5 days later, the one dhatu is formed, one tissue is formed. After 5 days, another. After 5 days, another. So 7 tissues that we need for our body. So आज जो खाया 35 days बाद बन रहा है. So now you see why something when we start doing the diet, it takes a while to come to show the result. So when we are on bone health, so as the bone health, when it gets stronger, that's when our hair and nails and teeth are related to it. So if our bone health is strong, our hair health will be strong. And what do we need for bone health? Good fats we need calcium. And calcium comes from what sources? So one is of course dairy, but in monsoons we are not supposed to have dairy. Because dairy is very heavy for this season. तभी तो हम शिव जी को सारा दूध चढ़ा देते हैं इस सीजन में, राइट? क्योंकि हमें नहीं पीना होता है इस सीजन में. और इस समय पनीर भी आप टेस्ट कर रहे होगे तो सही नहीं आ रहा है इस सीजन में, राइट? वी आर नॉट सपोज टू ईट डेयरी ड्यूरिंग दिस टाइम बिकॉज इट्स हैवी फॉर अ बॉडी. इट्स नॉट द राइट टाइम फॉर इट. सो व्हाट इज अदर सोर्सेज ऑफ कैल्शियम वी कैन लुक एट? सो द बेस्ट सोर्स ऑफ कैल्शियम इज sesame and ragi. Ragi is the best source of calcium. So if we can start including these kind of things also, you will start noticing lesser this thing. And also as a modern nutrition में देखें तो protein, because this is a protein structure. So what protein sources are we having? Are you vegetarian or non-vegetarian? How many? If you are vegetarian, then your protein sources are the dals, the legumes, all of these things, and you have tofu and different kind of things, right? So make sure that your proteins with the fat, because proteins also that needs for the better metabolism. That is, I have never tried triptan, but yeah, that also really helps, yeah. But so we need to make sure that nourishing meals, fresh vegetables, fruits and sesame seeds, all of this is going to help us with this health. And oiling of the hair, ये हम लोग बालों में तेल लगाते हैं, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है शीरो अभ्यंगा, मगर रात भर तेल लगा के नहीं रखना है. That can actually cause sinuses and issues like that. Only 1 hour oil is enough for us to keep in our head. Overnight रखेंगे तो ये sinus issues आगे और बढ़ेंगे. So we need to not do that. Just 1 hour is enough. And but oiling is important because that helps us with more hair growth, and again snail being oil nourishing us again. That's for hair health. Non-vegetarian is, again, it all depends on individual body. For when they look at the meats, Ayurveda talks about all the meats. Ayurveda is not saying, oh, now you're non-vegetarian, I will not tell you, like there's nothing like that. Ayurveda feels that your body, if it can digest, it's great, right? But meats, what we need to take care of is that it should be well cooked, slow cooked, and from good sources, ahimsa meat, where you're not really like, you know, it's not kept in a bad condition. So free range is of course better, organic is always better, and if we can slow cook, so soups and curries and stews are much better than the roasted or the grilled one, because it's easier for digesting, right? And also eat, if you're eating non-vegetarian, please eat during lunchtime only. When you eat it at dinner time, it takes much longer for body to digest, and we have to keep meal gap of 3 hours before sleeping, but it won't be able to digest that much. So then overall, if you do this regularly, then body will start saying, yaar, mere ko baksh do abhi. you know. So we need to start watching how much of what we're having. And according to Ayurveda, if you look at all the meats, the eggs are pretty good for us. The best meat to consume is the goat meat. The mutton is the best meat because it's the closest to the human muscles as well. And the worst meat according to Ayurveda is the cow beef. That's very heavy for us basically. But otherwise meats are, and especially in the monsoon season, bone broth, which is that paika soup kind of thing, is best for our bone health and overall feeling nourished basically.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah. So according to Ayurveda, what practices and food we could include in a routine to ensure that there is smooth sailing during menopause?
Ah, very nice question. So, like one thing that I talked about was, of course, this doing a practices like Abhyanga overall, and also see menstrual health. If you look at it, is basically our feminine energy, right? So anything that helps us stay in our feminine energy. So we, of course, need to rest during certain times and not overexert ourselves. And sometimes we also have to make sure that the good fats, again, because for our bone health we need good fats. Hydration, good fats, green leafy vegetables, fruits, soaked dry fruits, all these are essential for a better menopause health for sure. One of the herb which is very, very effective for during especially the menopause and after that is Shatavari. Shatavari is basically like a white asparagus kind of दिखता है वो, and it's a root kind of thing, and उसका powder form में या tablets form में आता है. Do consult your gynac if really it's something would suit you or not, but Shatavari as a supplement is very helpful for smooth menopause and just with that. But overall, at certain time we need to start slowing down and have practices like just sitting it out in nature, doing sunbathing, just basking that morning sun, very essential for our health, especially for women, for the better menopause. And in any case, again, I'm quoting the Andrew Huberman, morning before, like when you wake up, within 20 minutes, if you look at the sun, it will help us with better production of melatonin, which is needed for our sleep. Melatonin के भी tablets वो लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं, gummies वगैरह लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, हम सुबह sun को देख सकते हैं. That can help us with that. And of course, sleep is the most important aspect of anything because that's what helps us in repairing. So before ये हमें जो दिनचर्या तो हमने बात की सुबह उठ के क्या क्या करना है, एक रात्रिचर्या भी होती है कि अभी आयुर्वेदा में तो गैजेट्स फोन तो थे नहीं तो उन्होंने कुछ बताया नहीं, मगर हमें फ़ोन से 1 घंटा पहले, अगर हम आधा 1 घंटा पहले फ़ोन को गैजेट्स को दूर रख सकें, ब्लू लाइट आर्टिफिशियल लाइट से दूर रह सकें, and थोड़ा सा calm environment बना दें. You know what I try to do at all these 5-star hotels, you know, luxury properties, they do something called turn down services, right? Where they prepare your bed and they dim the lights and they put this essential oil on your pillow and things like that. Start doing those practices at home for you. Just when you're about to go into sleep, start retiring to sleep. Start preparing your body for sleep. Towards, if your, let's say your sleeping time is for now, let's say 10ish, 11ish. 11 is good for everybody? 11 तक सब सो जाते हैं, right? हाँ. So if 11 is your sleeping time, you must make sure 3 hours before your dinner is done. So 8 where dinner is done. Then by 10ish, you start dimming the lights. Maybe put a little gentle music, maybe some kind of clearing chants, and then start keeping your gadgets away. Maybe have some warm milk with some spices, or just warm chamomile tea. And just maybe do a little bit of abhyanga, especially pad abhyanga. Just putting oil on your feet. And if you do with ghee, even better sleep. And also putting a little oil in your navel in the night. Or a ghee, both are helpful. These will ensure us overall with better sleep, and overall then these together will help us with our menopause health. I hope that answered.
Hi, Amrita.
Very simple stuff.
Yeah. Hi, Amrita. Great talk.
Thank
My
you.
question to you is, you said the milk should not be used in fruits,
Yes.
fruit milkshakes.
Yeah.
So can we use a plant-based milk for that?
We can. The only problem with plant-based milks that happens is that sometimes in that following that lifestyle, we do end up consuming too much of those nuts also. Technically, nuts are also heavy for us.
Right.
So if we consume so much of that also, it can also be thoda harmful. Ati to har cheez ki buri hai. So but whatever we can have, if we have it in moderation, it's all good. And as Dalai Lama said, everything in moderation, even moderation. So sometimes also indulge into things and it's okay. But plant-based milks are fine to pair because that's what I do. I make santre ki kheer, for example, and I make it with almond milk because milk ke saath allowed nahi rehta. So wherever the recipe is called for example, milk can also not be paired with salt. So I stopped making white sauce pasta for that reason. because उसके कारण ये change हो रहा था, ये विरुद्धार होता. They say milk should not be paired with jaggery also, but then I've seen payasam recipes which are working fine. So, but if by chance if you're making that thing, make sure you add some spices to help it digest. Some cinnamon, some cardamom, some black pepper, and we are good.
Okay. Yeah. And is there any intermittent fasting in Ayurveda?
So Ayurveda doesn't talk about intermittent fasting, but it does talk about the benefits of fasting. And if you look at all the festivals which are around fasting, so Chaitra Navratri, which comes during spring season, and one Navratri comes during Sharad. Why? It's exactly at the season change time. When the season is changing, our Agni is slow. So when we fast, it helps to keep our Agni in balance. And even if we can practice once a week fasting, I'm not saying कि fasting करो तो अच्छा, लोग क्या करते हैं fasting में तो अच्छा साबूदाना खिचड़ी खाएंगे, फिर आलू भी allowed है ना, अभी आलू के चिप्स भी खा सकते हैं, केले के चिप्स तो बिल्कुल allowed है, we can eat fruits also, और थोड़ा सा French fries भी खा लेते हो, अभी और क्या order कर सकते हैं, दावत हो जाती है हमारे उपवास के दिन तो, and we end up overeating, तो पूरा purpose ही हमारा fasting का चला जाता है. The idea of fasting was that कि रोज अभी काम पे जा रहे थे, एक संडे तो दे दो बेचारे को थोड़ा, तो हमारी अग्नि को एक दिन ब्रेक मिल जाता है कि रोज की खाने से, तो उसको ग्रेन्स ना दे के हम सूडो ग्रेन्स दे रहे थे, मिलेट्स दे रहे थे और ईजियर फ्रूट्स दे रहे थे, बट वी नीड टू गिव इट ब्रेक. सो वंस इन अ वीक, वंस इन अ वाइल, फास्टिंग इज रियली गुड फॉर अस. Intermittent fasting specifically, if you look at it, it has benefited a lot of people, especially when people want to immediately lose weight. They see they start feeling lighter, skin starting getting clearer, but then when they leave that, again it gets back. So any diet, if you cannot sustain it for long term, don't do it, don't take it up. What is the best diet to sustain then? Intuitive eating. What I feel like, what my body is asking for, let me give it that without putting all this drama around it. But intermittent fasting will not suit Vata people at all, because long meal gaps can be a problem for them. Pitta people will get very hungry and everybody will be like, क्यों कर रहे हैं ये fasting? You know, they will be troubled around in them. And Kapha people will be like, हाँ अच्छा है मेरा वजन कम हो रहा है, उनको suit करेगा intermittent fasting. So we can start with that. But you make sure that you balance your body out, right? Any other question?
Yes. Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing nice tips.
Thank you.
I oil my body, I oil my navel,
Okay.
but I can't oil my hairs. Since 5 years, I didn't oil my
सुंदर बाल है
hair.
आपके यार.
Yes,
सुंदर
but I get acne problem while oiling my hair.
हाँ,
I
that
get
happens with some
acne.
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is the remedy for me?
No, so if it's not suiting you, don't need to. But make sure even if you do oil your hair, then wash it within like 15-20 minutes only.
Okay.
That's also okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. And you should use oil which is little cooling. So it's something which is Mahabhringraj or a Narayan oil which is cooling oil. You know,
Okay.
Nilgiri का थोड़ा उसके अंदर तेल हो या camphor हो, which is all cooling for us.
Okay. I want to put oil, but I can't for
No,
the
I
long
understand,
time.
yeah.
Yes.
Onion seed oil, that will also work.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much, Amrita. It is my honor to now invite Ms. Aparna Reddy, Senior Vice Chairperson, Flow Hyderabad Chapter, to deliver the vote of thanks, and Ms. Sita Reddy to present the autograph sheet.
Good afternoon, everyone. We Indians consider ourselves truly blessed as we have the ancient system of medicine called Ayurveda. In the midst of modern living, we have slowly drifted away from the ancient practices and started embracing new methods, which may always not be beneficial for our well-being. Today's session has served as a gentle reminder of the healthy lifestyles our previous generations led well into their 80s and 90s. Sadly, we find ourselves facing health issues at a much younger age, and our younger generation are going to have even more challenges. But however, by reconnecting with our ancestral methods, we can renew and reevaluate our living habits and practices for a healthy and happy future. Flow would like to thank Ms. Amrita Kaur Rana for such an insightful view on incorporating Ayurveda into our modern living. In fact, today she has curated our menu, so please do try our high tea, and she's also curated the tea which suits your body. Flow would like to thank our premium platinum sponsor, Kaveri Seeds, Shiv Narayan Jewelers Private Limited, premium diamond sponsor, Freedom Healthy Cooking Oils. By the way, they have goodies outside, so do make sure to collect them before leaving. Diamond sponsorer, ARL Tires. Gold sponsorer, Prayag Nutri. Travel partner, Holiday Bazaar. All the members present here today and are past chairs of Flow and Y-Flow and the media. Please join us for high tea. Thank you.
Can I have Parishji and team on the stage, please? Softball team.